You know, this is the only car that doesn't make me feel short. It's so short that it makes me feel tall. Now I know what it feels like to be on black.com if you're a white guy. Anyways, guys, welcome back to Exotic Car Hacks, and today we are not talking about black.com, we are talking about my Ford GT. Now, specifically, not because it has black wheels. What is wrong with you people? Why you gotta have such dirty minds, always thinking about black things being so large?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
We are talking here about the Ford GT. Now, this is an amazing car, and we've done plenty of reviews on this car. This car has been in the collection for 5 years. So to the guy that says I flip cars, well, you need to get the definition of flipping correctly, because I have owned this car for 5 full years. Now, what makes this car so amazing or not, this is not actually going to be a review of the car, but rather talking about where does the car line up today after 5 years since values have skyrocketed. Now, if you paid attention to anything I've shared on the channel about making money and buying the right car so you can make money, I've been telling you nonstop to buy these things over the last 5 years, and I bought this one for $235 grand. Today, this car is valued at $500,000, and I want you to understand that the car has doubled in value in the last literally 5 years. Now, that is a pretty good investment, knowing that I've actually driven this an additional 3,000 miles on top of that. Amazing car, amazing value, we know that. But is the Ford GT indeed a great 500K car as much as it was a great 250K car? And the answer is quite simple. It is still one of the best driving experiences on the road, bar none, out of any car anywhere. And this is coming from a guy, look around you, that owns almost every single type and genre of car on the market, from crazy $3 million Bugattis to very specialty cars like the SLS Black Series. I own all kinds of shit, even vintage shit. And this is fucking amazing in ways I cannot describe. It is absolutely breathtaking in ways I cannot describe. So the Ford GT, what makes it so great and what are the downfalls now that it costs 500 grand? Well, I'm gonna sum it up to you this way. This is the car that you will love driving more than any other car if you know how to drive a manual. So sorry for you young Gen Zers and other people born in late generations. The thing in the middle is to shift the gears, and guess we have a third pedal, and somehow we enjoy it more. You know we're old, but we're not wrong. The thing about this car is this is the car you're gonna enjoy driving more than anything else you own. But it's the one car you can't afford to drive. And I'm gonna explain how this has shifted for this car in just a second. These cars are so good to drive that there's no better driving experience. I mean, 911 turbos is junk compared to this shit. Like, this is a driving experience that's unrivaled. I fucking leave a CD player in there because I want to listen to 90s and 2000s hit because of how good this is, and the engine sounds so good. And yes, this one's got 1,000 horsepower, but just look at it. It's beautiful. It's unique. It gets thumbs up anywhere. And you have a concussion every time you get out of the car. Look at this. Because the door opens like this, either it has to open like this so you can actually have like a car literally 8 miles away from you. But if you're in a regular parking lot, this is how much the door opens. So every time you get out, you nail yourself on this and basically give yourself a concussion, remembering yet what it was like in the 90s. But this is unbelievable as a car minus that bullshit. Everything else is fucking fantastic. The problem with this car is not so much the car itself, but it's rather how much the landscape has changed, that the outside parts of this car, like the fenders, the headlights, the tail lights, they're just not fucking out there. They're not available. They've been on back order for years. And so you have to think about that, because in your head you go, well, I've never crashed the car, so I should be fine. I'll drive it very carefully. But it's not about crashing it. What if the wires in the headlights stop working? What if like the specific part, like the lens stops to work and you need a new headlight? You're literally sitting on a 500K car that doesn't have headlights anymore. So it suddenly can't be driven anymore. So there's so much that could go wrong with this car in terms of like not being able to fix what's happening, or the windshield getting hit by a rock or something that would get you back in this place where you're like, shit, the car is totaled. Like, I can't do anything about it. And that's the problem with this car, is it's the best and greatest fucking thing made, but at some point it just becomes impossible to manage, and it has to be a total loss. So if you can get over these crazy doors and can see how incredible this interior looks, mechanically, hundreds of parts out there because it's basically Ford bullshit, but electrically 50-50, but design-wise near zero. And this is a big problem, especially for things like headlights, tail lights, or things that are more specific that are going to be harder to get 3D printed. You know, you could say, hey, I can get a metal place to make me a grill like this. Yes, you could, but it's going to be very hard to get someone to make you a headlight. This is one of the reasons headlights are going on eBay, which they're hardly ever available on the correct side of the car, for like 5 to 7 grand when these things were originally like 800 bucks. So the point that I'm trying to make is that the availability of parts has made this one of the greatest collector cars that genuinely should no longer be driven, at the risk of then completely destroying your investment because it is a non-functional part of a great legacy-based machine that has shattered all expectations, records, and everything else. And listen, the Ford GT as a platform is superb, like superb in ways I cannot describe. And the new Ford GT is also excellent, but very different than this. This is an iconic car that has reshaped the way we see automotive driving anywhere. And one of my favorite cars of all time, and I'm so sad to say that at the dollar it's reached now, it's going to have to eventually get retired and no longer driven, because the risk of driving it is the risk of pressing one button too many and ultimately ending up with a car that doesn't function. Well, this has been my review, the 5-year review of the Ford GT. What I think it's still worth at the 500K level. Is it still a good driving experience? Hope you've enjoyed it. If you want more videos like this, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. How can we resolve this? Will a company go out, you think, and make us headlights and make us the things to relive the Ford GT, put it back on the block, like we've seen so much of that support happen for so many other vintage cars? Or is this the end of the Ford GT? Now, I'm predicting before this video is over that these cars in the next 5 years, the ones that remain on the road, will be in the $1 million range. And one of the best investments still to date, despite its like 4 times what its MSRP was, still one of the best investments to date to make in any type of car anywhere. You've heard my take. Would love to hear yours in the comments. Make sure you click the link in the description if you want to join Exotic Car Hacks. Black Friday in July is here. Memberships are just $197. But would love to hear your opinion on the Ford GT and would love to have you join Exotic Car Hacks. Catch you guys next time on our next video.